One of my closest friends that I have on my self mastery journey that I talk to pretty much every single day almost about stuff like discipline, willpower, manifestation, spirituality, and all of these things has had a pretty great achievement recently. And I really want to tell you about it and give you the exact blueprint that I gave to him so that you can exactly achieve the same things that he did. All you need to do is just have some patience and get a complete grasp of this concept. So here goes his story. You see, one day he found this very opportunistic job opportunity that he wanted to take. I mean, it was some kind of an IT, job like where he would, I don't know, like write programs or whatever. I don't exactly remember what it was, but basically it was he was gonna work from his computer, meaning that he would instantly have time and location freedom pretty much, and financial freedom even, because if he played his cards right on that job, and he showed it to me himself, he could have been making 5K per month if he was just working like 8 hours every single day, which he didn't have to, but he would chose to be working that. And so I could see the passion in his voice. I could see the complete satisfaction and the complete peace that it brought to him. And so he went through the interview and he passed the first one. And then he went over the second one, and unfortunately, he didn't make it through. And I remember him telling me about it, and he was devastated, right? And worst of all, bro got told that he wasn't accepted onto that job literally when he was partying with his friends, and he was having a lot of fun. Yeah, which sucks, but I told him one thing: stoicism, brother. You always must push through because this isn't just the end, this is just the beginning of something greater. And wouldn't you know it? Literally 1.5 weeks later, he got. And this is just so mind boggling, bro. This is why manifestation will always get you into your desired reality by embodying whatever you wish to materialize in our third dimensional realm, being a source of it spiritually, mentally, and physically. He literally got approached by someone, by some ad TV commercial, to literally work for them. And that's crazy. They literally just found his phone number and, like, I don't know, his profile, I guess, and they instantly messaged him. He didn't find them first. They found him first. They went over to him. And the moment that they saw him, they literally like put down the, hiring poster that they had on their website. That's how fast bro got accepted. And it was all pretty much thanks to the advice that I've been giving him on manifestation and stuff like that. And he even gave me the full permission to tell you guys about this story, my timeless readers, because if I'm gonna be completely honest, the only difference that is between you and that other friend of mine, our timeless reader, is is not that he's genetically gifted or that he's blessed by some kind of an entity sitting up there in the sky. No, no, no. He's the same formless I am consciousness of God. And you are the same formless I am consciousness of God. The only thing that is separating you from achieving your desired reality or those achievements that he achieved is to is your frequency. It is your state of mind. It is your attitude. Because you must keep in mind that we don't necessarily own anything physically. Like we as third dimensional human beings, we only own the things that we hold in our consciousness and we only borrow them from God. Because think about it, you can't borrow money when you die. You can't take that wonderful lady that you attracted and that you spend your whole life with in the afterlife. No, no, no. The only thing that you can keep with yourself are the things that you hold in your consciousness. So you borrow everything from God. So the only thing that is separating you from achieving those achievements is literally just your frequency, your state of mind, whatever beliefs, thoughts, emotions, convictions, identities, emotions, whatever all of these things you hold within your consciousness and your moods also, they will be reflective of your reality that you're currently experiencing. And that's heavy. And so this is what you have to always remember. If you have a clear vision of what you actually want, like a clear picture, even down to the smallest nano detail, so you know it perfectly, so you can convince yourself the most emotionally about it that it is real on the mental plane and that it is slowly coming to our physical plane. Because remember, the strength of a frequency is always correspondent to its details, to its clearness of how clear you can actually imagine it. Because if you say something vague like I am making 10K per month, well, that has a very shaky foundation. But if you say something like I ran, I don't know, a very strong affiliate marketing page where we make 10K per month from selling toothbrushes or whatever, then that's way stronger, right? So if you have a clear vision and if you can feel and think from the end, so feel the emotions that you would feel upon attaining that desired reality, either in its material form or whatever. And if you can think those thoughts that you would feel upon attaining that desired reality, then you've already won. Because you need to remember that there's a higher entity out there that is responsible for reforming your entire reality. And that entity is God, the infinite intelligence. I don't know, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever you wish to call him. I don't really subscribe to any of these philosophies, but basically, when I refer to God, I say I refer to an impersonal, infinite energy that is the Almighty, and yeah, he's pretty much omnipresent, but he can be misaligned with God because he's the what? The Most High. But the Most High what? The most high frequency, meaning that he's the strongest and the most powerful force in the entire universe. And whenever you feel and think from the end, you emit a wave that pretty much just doesn't even act according to the laws of the universe, and it just straight up leaves our universe and it goes straight to him. And then God reconstructs your entire reality so that it suits, your desired reality, so that you actually get there in the first place and that you materialize it. He sets up every single step of the way. But you are a finite mind that is limited to time and space, meaning that you can only see one step at a time. You don't see the entire journey, you only see one step of it. But you need to remember that the moment that you can feel and think from the end, it was already set up on a higher plane of existence. If you can receive it, then you're already in it. And when I'm talking about receiving it, I don't mean like physically, but if you can feel yourself and think already from the position of that desired reality, that it is already as real as, raindrops in a cloud. You can't see the raindrops yet, but soon enough they're gonna fall and they're gonna hit your face because they will be physical, they will be real, and it's the same thing. They're, they're just gonna come. And so the main lesson of this entire video is to make you remember that even in your lowest lows that you can experience, you must remember that this is only one step of the way. You cannot see the entire plan that was set up by the Almighty. You can only see one step of it. Meanwhile, God sees the entire picture. He sees the entire plan, meaning that every single one of your failures that you even make, well, quote unquote, failures, were set up by Him too. So, based on that logic, you cannot fail. When you, for example, relapse on NoFap or whatever, and I don't even call it NoFap, but I have other videos on it. If you eat that cheap meal or whatever, that's just one step of the way. You there's no thing as a failure. It is all just a concept and a label that your conscious mind has made. But all you need to realize is that it's just one step of the way. Now, I don't mean that you should now, jerk off until you completely lose your mind and that you should just eat cheap meals for the rest of your life, but just remember that you're always on the right path and that you cannot fail. So just relax all of your muscles, let go of the left side of your brain, which is the logical, analytical, and pretty much the physical part of your human body, that is completely dependent upon the five physical senses to make sense of the world, which is the side of your brain that the education system and all of these institutions were programming us to operate from, even though they are They don't allow us to control our realities, so that's why we don't do that here. And you should completely just detach and attach yourself into the right side of your brain, which is the spiritual, the emotional, the abstract part of your brain that actually, has these types of thinking that allows you to think and feel from the end. Because think about it. What did Jesus say in the Bible? Cast your net to the right side of your boat. And when, his disciples and his children casted, the net to the right side of the boat, they pulled out so many fishes that they couldn't even pull out the net. But when they were throwing the net onto the left side of the boat, they couldn't pull out any fish. That means, esoterically speaking and metaphysically speaking, if you think from the right side of your brain, which is the spiritual, emotional, abstract, and all of these things part of your brain, you will always get your desired reality, whether that would be in a mental form, a spiritual form, and later in the materialization way that we all desire, I know. But the goal is to feel it mentally so much that you basically become a source of it, that you already can think and feel from the end of someone who actually teaches how to get it, instead of the one that wants to get taught on how to get it. And that's heavy. But you need to just remember that you cannot fail. It is just one step in God's journey, in the plan that He has set up for you. And you can only see just, a tiny step in that huge field. And yeah, that's about it. You cannot fail. All you need to do is just keep that in mind and continue feeling and thinking from the end and being relaxed. Because when you're relaxed, then you allow God to take care of everything else. You move out of the way so that the infinite can take care of your life. And if He created the entire universe in just 7 days, then of course He can change your entire life within just moments, right? It truly can happen. But you need to just see and figure it out. And by the way, those 7 days, they aren't clearly 7 days. It was just, symbolically said. They could have been 7 seconds, 7 days, 7 minutes, or whatever. But you need to remember that the universe is infinite because the creator is infinite too. So, yeah, of course, He can change your life within a moment, just like that. But yeah, if you want to supercharge your journey on manifestation, self improvement, stoicism, discipline, willpower, productivity, and all of these things, and if you want to completely reform yourself and escape the version of you that was confined by the education system, then I highly suggest that you should go check out Timeless Reader's Mindsets in the description. It is truly something life-changing, and you'd be a fool to miss out, especially with the discount that is happening over there right now. Thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you